Today we're going to make the teacup knot. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Sheena Joy. I create macrame textile art and I'm here to simply inspire you to do the same. If that's your jam, subscribe and hit the bell notifications. We will need scissors, tape, wooden bead and butcher's twine, and 90 inches of cotton cord. First, let's tie the ends of our cotton cord together. This isn't necessary, but I find that it's very helpful. Place our knot at the top and then lay out our cord in the Y formation. Next, let's tape the center of each branch of our Y formation. Only use a tiny bit of tape, that way it's easier to remove later on. I find by doing this it helps hold the shape and makes this project so much more easier. Okay, so now let's make what I call a propeller shape by curving our ends around in a loop. Next, you want to overlap each tail ends across the loops we had just made. This portion of this knot is just like a Chinese square knot, only we're using 3 cords. When you think of it that way, it's a lot easier to kind of figure out. Or at least it makes a lot more sense in my head. At this point, we should have each tail end overlapping our loops. Now this is the fun part. Grab one of our tail ends and we're going to weave it through our loop. So you want to go underneath, then over top of the next tail end, and then back underneath our loop. I hope that was easy to follow. Let me know in the comments below. So again, you take our next tail end and we want to weave it underneath our loop, then over top and across our next tail end, and then back underneath our loop. I know this looks really tricky, but trust me, you'll get it. Okay, we're doing our last tail end, so we'll bring it underneath our loop, over top of our previous tail end. I'm just gonna tug it a bit here because I don't have enough slack. So over top of our previous tail end and then underneath our loop again. Okay, now that it looks like a mess, we are going to tug each tail end and it will start forming its shape. So you're going to have to pull each cords a bit where there's slack and then keep tugging and working its way out through the tail ends. This part's messy and a little tedious, but trust me, it'll work out. Okay, once we've got it down to a good donut shape, it is time to remove the tape. This is the reason why we only wanted to use just a little bit of tape, because it's a little tricky getting it out. But I find that the tape is kind of like training wheels for this project. It makes it so much easier to complete this knot. What do you think? Did it help you out at all? Okay, now we're back at the tedious part again, and we're going to tighten up all the slack. You want to keep tightening it up until it forms a cup shape, hence the name teacup knot. I personally think it looks more like a flower, but teacup knot it is. And voila! So flipping it over, make sure that you find the center where there's a hole. And we're gonna grab our wooden bead and we're gonna fish the butcher's twine in through the center. Now we're not limited to wooden beads here. We can add shank buttons to the center, or you could put a crystal in the middle of it, or you can add a giant frayed knot to the center. You've got many options. Okay, so to finish this knot, we're gonna flip it over and lie it out. And we're gonna create kind of a crown knot around our butcher's twine here. So what you do is you just overlap the ends, you pull out our butcher's twine, and then you weave our last end in through the loop. I have a really thorough tutorial on crown knots if you wanted to take a peek at that. I'll link it for you in the description below. Okay, I'm just gonna manhandle this until I get it to what I want it to do. Ta-da! Isn't she sweet? See, I told you it looks more like a flower than a teacup. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more. Also, here are 2 more videos I think you'll enjoy. I'll see you over there.